Hello, welcome to the Make It Happen podcast. I'm here with the creator of it, Mike Vanderpool, and he is actually going to be making something happen right here in Toledo. And he gets to be the cool guy on the podcast today to tell us all about it. Mike, I've been hearing some buzz over the last few months about batting cleanup. What's it all about?
Well, thanks, Vince, for being host. You do an admirable job of being me. I appreciate that. Batting cleanup is a project where we are basically putting QR codes on trash receptacles downtown that people can scan and report when they need to be serviced, picked up.
So what gave you the impetus to do that? I know you're not from downtown Toledo originally. How did you come up with this concept, and who did you pull in to get involved with it?
So the original idea for this batting cleanup style system came from my time working at a community college out in Northwest Ohio. There were tons of trash receptacles all around campus, and I noticed, because I'm one of those guys that looks and watches everything, that some people throwing away basically empty garbage bags. And then I did some quick math, and it was like $20,000 a year in trash bags, right? If all of them got thrown away and replaced daily. So I'm like, okay, there has to be a way to do this. And I know that the technology exists for putting like sensors, Internet of Things, people have probably heard of that, these sensors on all these receptacles and other type of appliances. But that's typically fairly expensive, right? And you're electrifying everything. So the idea for this, the base idea was born about 5 years ago, just existing in a space where you had trash receptacles that needed to be maintained. Fast forward to spring of 2024, I started the Make It Happen podcast, had you as a guest, Dal Thompson as a guest, and I think third, fourth guest, one of the early ones, was Adam Cassie, the executive director of Keep Toledo Lucas County Beautiful. Phenomenal conversation with Adam. Awesome. He's a Defiance College graduate. I'm teaching at Defiance College. Like, it was, small world here in Northwest Ohio. And Adam, passionate about litter, recycling, all that good stuff, as part of what KTLCB does. Litter was on my brain after that conversation.
Okay.
A few weeks after that, Chris Eischen, the director here at the Toledo Tech Loft, where we're at right now, he and I go down to Mud Hen's opening day. It was my first opening day experience,
Okay.
Right? The holiday here in downtown Toledo. And we're walking around and having a great time and enjoying the crowds. Even it's raining, kind of like today is, and not a great day, but the vibe was just freaking phenomenal. I think I'm over by the stadium, over where like maybe the Dirty Bird is, and I see a trash receptacle and it's overflowing. Like literally overflowing, trash on the street. The wind's kind of blowing. I'm like, dude, this stuff is going to end up in the Maumee River. And I was like, I wish I could report this right now. I wish I could find somebody to call and say, hey, let's pick this up. So, from that, I kind of like took that previous idea, rolled it into the previous idea from the college, rolled it into what we were doing or what I was thinking downtown, kind of piggyback from the conversation with Adam. And like, hey, I probably talked to my phone and recorded the idea and had ChatGPT turn it into a one-page proposal. I sent it to Adam and said, hey, can we make this happen? Adam pulled together folks from ConnecToledo, City Council, some other organizations as well. We had a kind of a meeting, just meeting of the minds. Hey, is this even something worth pursuing?
Yeah.
And the people in the room kind of loved the idea, and we've been making it happen through the design process of prototyping, figuring stuff out here for the past about 4 or 5 months, give or take.
Okay. So if I'm understanding correctly, you saw when you were out at the community college, the issue of the waste was they just had a system. We just go around, we clean up every day, and there wasn't that much garbage sometimes that didn't really require that. And then you saw the other extreme where here's a major event going on. There's more trash than normal for this receptacle. It's overflowing, and probably the normal process would be, hey, after a big event, we bring the trucks in, we clean everything up. And it sounds like what you're proposing is a way of, hey, we don't want to waste from the standpoint of overutilizing garbage bags and cleaning up on just a regular basis. There's the cost, is also the routine of having people going around. And then we also don't want the cost of just this garbage overflowing and taking away from the city. So when you talk to Adam and they talk to everybody there, what do you see as the biggest hurdles to implementing this process that you're proposing?
Well, there's a lot of players involved. Anytime you're dealing with, an academic side in education, government, there's multiple layers, multiple people responsible for things. If you look at, I call all of Toledo kind of downtown Toledo, but people, hi Keith Instone and others remind me, no, downtown is these few blocks here. There's just a lot of overlapping jurisdiction, for lack of a better word, and who's responsible for things. And you really want to be mindful of communication around what you're doing anytime you're working with municipalities or things like that, because nobody likes to be blindsided with what's going on. So I've been hopefully doing a good job of over communicating throughout the process of what's going on to make sure that nobody, even the people who are tangentially involved, if somebody comes up to them and say, hey, what's going on with this batting cleanup project, they actually know and can answer the question. So
you'd mentioned that educational component, as well as it sounds like you've got some students and people involved with this project helping out with that. Is that correct?
yeah, because at the end of the day, right, what we're doing is applying innovation. It's not like innovative itself, putting QR codes on things. I mean, how long have we been seeing QR codes on things to scan? So we're not necessarily being innovative, but I don't think that we need to actually be innovative all the time. We can just take things that are working other places and apply them. This QR code, trash receptacle being the example of that here. For me, what this project really is, and for the other people involved, like Justin Beaudry, and I'll talk more about him, and even, Chris here at the Tech Loft, we all are passionate about Toledo doing better, Northwest Ohio doing better. And in order for Northwest Ohio to do better, we have to have opportunity for our creative problem solvers, our talent here. And I, as somebody who's been teaching for the past decade in Archibald, in Defiance, even downtown here with some of the things I've done, like, we have a boat ton of talent that people just don't realize exists. And the goal here is for us to create a system and a process by which we're able to solve one of our own problems, to demonstrate that we do have creative problem solvers here in Northwest Ohio, so we can start investing more in our own people. We have Justin Beaudry, who is the founder of Toledo Codes. They started a chapter, a student group over at the University of Toledo. There were 26 applicants for this fellowship. People would come in and actually work on the app, the technological side of the problem. And we selected 6. So 6 University of Toledo students are now working on this project. We'll have a real project that they worked on, completed, participated in, and have a story to tell when they sit down for an interview. Because at the end of the day, right, all of this stuff is workforce development. All of this stuff is about jobs for our people, and having a story to tell about a project that you worked on with city government, with organizations around Toledo, provides some level of street cred that people who just graduate with a CS computer science degree might not have. So when you're up against somebody that's for that same job, you having a story to tell, I believe, makes it more likely for you to earn that position.
Absolutely. What do you see as the timeline? Do you see a beta test in, let's say, a few blocks? Hey, we want to set this up, see how everything's going to work, or go citywide right from the get-go? What's the vision of how it'll be rolled out?
So the design thinking process is this process of failing fast. And we don't want to fail. When you fail fast, you don't want to fail wide. So what we've done over the past few months here is on the design of the sign. I don't know if you can see that in here. So this was prototype number 2. It's made out of aluminum. Our friends at Off Contact put this together for us. The prior version of this was honestly just a piece of paper that we printed to. We put it on the trash receptacle. Ooh, look, it's full right now. We need to scan that. We're at the corner of North Superior and Adams here at the Toledo Tech Loft, what I'm affectionately calling the Innovation Corridor. We had this up last week during an event downtown. We scanned it. We kind of observed some other people looking at it. A few things here that happened, right? The corners are too sharp. I don't like that. So this whole thing is actually going to be redesigned. So, those things are $30 a pop. If we'd have done that on the 100 trash receptacles downtown, that's a lot of money that we would have wasted. So we're taking it from this design thinking approach where we isolate a corner that we can observe, do a test there. We're going to have the next version will be up hopefully by the end of this week. And then we're going to see what happens here on this corner. And then ideally, we're collecting data along the way. We'll have some information then and feel comfortable that people are using it. It's useful. It's reporting properly to the people who need to get notified. And then we'll go wider. And I'm not exactly sure how that's going to look. We may go just down over by the ball field, right? We may just walk around and kind of see which receptacles, talk to the folks at downtown about which receptacles tend to be the most full, and we can do all kinds of stuff with the next phase of this project. So long story short, the design thinking process is failing fast, which means you're coming up with prototypes and testing small scale. And then once you've proven some of your assumptions, figured out the failure points, then you start to go wider and wider and wider, learning all along the way. Everybody is on board with this, which is awesome. The people who deal with the receptacles, the people who manage the ticketing system, like this is going to do two things. One, it's going to keep some litter off the street. Number two, it's going to provide some data around trash in the city, and we can start making some better decisions about where receptacles are placed or how we manage, maintain, and keep Toledo-Lucas County beautiful.
Okay, so it sounds like a minimal cost project. Like you said, just getting these signs right.
Yeah.
What does that cost? How many do we need? Where do we get them up? But the process of cleaning up trash is already going on, just streamlining it. And then like you just said there, figuring out, can we even do that better? Do we have enough receptacles? Do we maybe need a routine? Like, hey, we just have to be at this one every 3 hours during a major event.
Yeah, we should be able to, through the data that we collect through this project, more than offset the cost of getting the project off the ground, right? It's going to be the signs, which would be a one-time purchase. Those signs will last a good 10 years based on the information I have. And then the app itself, the student group is building it, and there'll be negligible cost for the running of that app, maintaining that app.
Okay. Is there any possibility that you get it implemented, it's working, you have the city saying, hey, this worked out on this, from this degree, we've seen this cost savings or improvement in the beautification of the city, the students saying, hey, this was a great project, we worked on it, the technological people saying, wow, this was something we really did, we refined that. Is it scalable where, hey, it worked in Toledo, now this could go anywhere? Do you have trash in your cities? And
yes, 100%. I mean, I know that there are already systems in place, similar systems. Again, what we're doing isn't brand new, right? This is QR codes. This is URL links that allow you to fill out a form, basically. We are in talks with a couple other groups in Northwest Ohio about applying this to other environments. And really, at the end of the day, we're using the social capital of people walking around and being able to help report things, whether it's a trash receptacle that's overflowing, maybe some graffiti somewhere, somehow, some way, right? Making the residents of Northwest Ohio able to be active participants in helping to steal the phrase, keep Toledo-Lucas County beautiful.
Well, Mike, you just mentioned something there about filling out a form. So help me out with this a little bit. When they scan the QR code, is that the same QR code that's all around town, or is it unique to that receptacle, or how does somebody report that receptacle is so frictionless as possible?
We have an idea on how we think it's going to work, the app itself. Part of that will be the testing phase. We'll refine that once we learn more from live testing. Initially, the idea is you point your camera at the receptacle with your QR code scanner, a link will pop up and you press that link and that receptacle will be reported. Okay. So the URL, the QR code will be unique to each receptacle.
Okay.
The vision, the idea after that, there's lots of things we could do after that. What we would probably, in my head, and again, this is the design and development team may come up with better ideas than I have, would be to allow a user to include a picture of the receptacle, and then also to be able to check a box, hey, notify me when this is cleaned up. So you get that little bit of a dopamine hit. Yeah. Oh, this is cool. I was actually able to help participate in keeping our city beautiful.
It could gamify it and people could go around and find as many overflowing trash receptacles as possible. And you report so many times, you get an hour of free parking in downtown Toledo.
There's all kinds of things we can do once we start collecting the data.
Yeah, well, that's my contribution. So I'd like to be on any papers that are written
for sure
for the future on that.
Chris, burn this.
Mike, do you see any expansion of this beyond? We've talked a lot about the trash receptacles and doing that there. Are there other things now that you've been hanging out downtown that you've seen and you've implemented this where you could expand on it?
I may have to delete this part, edit this part out, but Have you ever been in using the bathroom and there's no toilet paper there?
Mike, that's a personal question.
What if they could just scan a code, right, and let people know that the bathroom needs toilet paper? Or you've been in the bathroom and there's no paper towels, right? Like, you could use a system like this just to help report when things need attention.
Okay,
It's as simple as that.
So
Sorry to make it.
well,
poopy.
it makes sense. The TPQR RN
Yes.
toilet paper with a QR code right now. Well, but I can see where that comes into play. It's like there's these things that, hey, I walk around, I don't know who takes care of what. I just expect the trash receptacles get emptied, the streets get cleaned, things are safe. Toilet paper magically shows up in this public restroom. I don't know how any of that takes place, but like you said, when it's a problem, I would like it fixed. And now you're giving people the opportunity of like, hey, I can help get things fixed.
Yeah, that, and I think sometimes, right, like, things get abstracted away from us, especially when it comes to trash and litter. You've been to a movie theater and walked out at the end, there's just crap everywhere because people are like, oh, somebody else is going to take care of it, right? I don't think we want to remove the individuals who are, air quotes, part of the problem completely from it, because then they're just going to keep, oh, somebody else is taking care of, somebody else is taking care of that. If we have our community active in the solution, it brings more awareness to the fact that, okay, when these trash cans are overflowing, it could potentially end up in the Maumee, and we already have enough problems with the Maumee and Lake Erie and everything else that's connected there.
Mike, is there anything we haven't touched on about this product, batting cleanup, that you'd like to share with the audience?
Yeah, I really want, again, we're dealing with a whole bunch of different organizations here. There's a whole bunch of people who are helping, so I want to kind of be clear on who's helping and who's participating here. So, my company, Anthony Wayne Innovation and Design, is working with Justin Beaudry, Toledo Codes, and that UT Toledo Codes Fellowship. Phenomenal, right? We actually have students working on solving this problem.
So this is the tech side.
Yeah,
of it.
yeah. They're working on the app/web interface for this thing. Myself and some of my students from Defiance College were working on the actual design and look of the signs. Christine Michaels, the CEO of ConnecToledo, has been instrumental in pulling this stuff together, connecting us, no pun intended, with the right people. Mike Reams, Mac Driscoll, a whole bunch of awesome people associated with the city. Obviously, Adam Cassie he was instrumental. This does not happen without Adam, both from just where the idea came from and kicking it and getting it off the ground. Then we also have, Winhouse Software. So Evan Marsh, CEO of Winhouse Software, they are a sponsor. They've provided some funding to help us with some of the initial costs of making it happen. Evan and what they do as Winhouse as an innovation firm, they're heavily invested in downtown Toledo. Our office is here, and it's really, really cool that they're helping to support us as we develop, potentially their future workforce.
Excellent.
We also have, last thing I'll say, we also have a few folks, I won't mention them by name, but on city council who've also been participating and providing feedback as well. And then also the city of Toledo is not a partner in this, although we have had conversations with them just to make sure that they were on the same page, and they've been awesome as well. Like the communication around this, the cooperation from government to industry to academics, like, this is how we make stuff happen, because we can kill multiple birds with one stone here, one project.
Awesome. Well, Mike, I'm a longtime Toledo resident, and there's always,
we can tell.
There's always this sense of negativity by some people, especially when it comes to downtown. And there's a rebirth, regeneration, whatever you want to call it, going on a lot of levels. And this one's super exciting because it's keeping Toledo, Lucas County beautiful. And that's the name of an organization that's involved. But what you're doing, you always talk on your podcast about cool people doing cool things. You're definitely a cool person doing something cool and making it happen with this project, along with all the entities and people you talked about. So thank you very much for doing that. Keep an eye out for the QR codes around downtown Toledo here, and let's keep making it happen. I'm not going to do that.
Be good to each other. Thanks, Vince. I love you. I love this guy.
I love you too.
Like, Chris is here as well. I love Chris.
Yes, but yeah, let's just go on one of our 3-hour podcasts.